Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are jumping right into Elon Musk's own words to really get a handle on his vision for Grok, for AI, and for the future of his platform X. We're going to go straight to the source material to see exactly how he talks about this stuff, from a smarter timeline on your phone all the way to the end of money itself.
So let's just start with this incredibly bold prediction from Musk himself. He's not talking about just, small improvements here and there. He's describing a future where AI is better than human experts in literally every single field. This one quote right here, it kind of frames everything else he says and shows you just how big he thinks this revolution is going to be. Okay, so to make sense of this whole thing, here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the basics. What even is his new AI Grok? Then we'll look at the plan to build it, how it's going to change X, and then we're going to zoom way out to his much bigger and honestly, much stranger vision for all of us in an age of AI.
All right, first up, what exactly is Grok? Because according to Musk, we really shouldn't be thinking of it as just another chatbot.
He's actually defined Grok with some really specific, almost philosophical traits. It's apparently built to reason from the ground up, to be skeptical of what it reads, and to figure out what humans are saying even when the conversation gets messy. I mean, that suggests an ambition that goes way beyond just spitting out correct answers.
What's so interesting here is the way he talks about how it thinks. Reasoning from first principles, breaking a problem down to its absolute basic truths and building up from there, and being skeptical, that points to an AI that's being designed to think more critically than what's come before it, maybe even more critically than we do.
He's also talked about this practical two-tier system for how it's going to work. And that tells you a lot about how he sees it being used, right? You've got a lighter, faster version for most of your day-to-day questions, and then this much more powerful, heavy-duty version for when you need to tackle something really complex.
Okay, next section. Let's see how this all builds, because Musk hasn't just talked about what Grok is. He's been really public about the development plan and its timeline.
And just look at this timeline. The speed he's aiming for is, well, it's breakneck. We're not talking about waiting years between new versions. We're talking months. A new version in August, they start training the next one in September, and then a massive leap in its ability to reason is planned for the very next spring. That's an incredibly aggressive schedule.
So how are they going to pull this off? Well, here's the key. It's about pure raw power. He's flat out said they are throwing an exponential amount of computing power at each new version. This is not just some simple software update, it's a massive hardware-fueled power-up. Okay, so what does all this tech actually mean for, the hundreds of millions of people who use X every day? Let's take a look at how Musk says Grok is going to completely change the platform's core experience. He's made a very direct promise here. The main feed, the absolute heart of the X experience, is getting a total Grok-powered makeover. And look, this isn't some minor tweak. This could fundamentally change what you see, who you talk to, and what info gets pushed to you every single time you open the app. And he's even laid out his three-step strategy. It all starts with cleaning up the data, basically trying to filter out all the noise from other AIs that are muddying the waters online. After that, once Grok 2 is out, he's predicting a giant improvement. It's that classic garbage in, garbage out problem, and he thinks he's solving it.
And here's another really fascinating peek into where the platform is headed. Musk suggested that Grok's ability to just understand the context and the meaning of a post could make things like hashtags totally obsolete. The AI will just get what you're talking about. No tags needed.
So now let's zoom way, way out. Because for Musk, a better algorithm on X is just one little stepping stone. Grok is part of a much bigger, world-changing event that he sees coming, the arrival of superintelligence.
He's actually used this exact phrase, and that's a heavy one. He's talking about the singularity. That's the hypothetical moment when AI growth gets so fast and so out of control that it just changes human civilization forever. For him, this isn't sci-fi anymore. He thinks it's right around the corner.
And to put that into perspective, here is his really stark prediction. He believes that within just a few decades, our biological human intelligence is going to make up way, way less than 1% of all the intelligence on Earth. The rest, it'll all be machine-based.
And his predictions just keep going, right to the very core of how our society works. He suggested that a true superintelligence, one that could manage all the planet's resources and production perfectly, well, it could make our entire economic system, and even the idea of money itself, completely meaningless.
So that all leads to the biggest question of all. In a world with what is essentially a godlike AI, where do we fit in?
while Musk has some fascinating and sometimes pretty weird ideas about what our role might be.
He basically paints this picture of a world that is physically full of robots. And in that world, maybe humans find a new purpose by merging with technology to get cybernetic superpowers. Or maybe we serve a more humble but still critical role, being a biological backstop, sort of like a living, breathing failsafe for all that digital intelligence. You know, this quote, it just perfectly captures his whole vibe, doesn't it? It's this mix of huge, futuristic ideas and this really casual, almost funny way of talking. He's pushing AI harder than almost anyone, but at the same time, he's proudly pointing out that his most ambitious project, Starship, was designed by human brains, or, as he puts it, our little meat computers.
And that's where we land. From a better algorithm on X all the way to a future where humans are a tiny fraction of the planet's intelligence, Musk's vision is nothing if not revolutionary. And it really forces us all to think about this one single massive question about our own future. Thanks for watching.